Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be discussing attributes because at the beginning of the beta, a bunch of my friends, the people that I play with, were not quite understanding how the whole thing works. So I want to make a quick video just to explain it for anybody who is having any confusion, or to just make it simple for you on the launch of the game. So I'm going to press M to bring up my options here, and I'm going to go to character. You can just press K if you'd like. I always press M to bring up my menus. And then we're on the attribute page. So on the attribute page here, we're going to see that you can put specific points. So each level that you get in New World, you'll get 3 points that you can then put into different sections. Now, the first line of confusion that my friends had at the beginning of the game was, oh, so I need to get 50 attribute points before I can then use the attribute because I need to unlock this orb, right? That's not how it works. So you can put 1 attribute point, you can put 3 attribute points. It doesn't matter how many attribute points you want to use at one time. So I can simply respec here. It's going to cost me some money, but that's fine. It's free to respec until you're level 20, by the way. So if you want to try a bunch of different weapons and things, then you can just respec as many times as you want for no cost before you reach level 20 in the game. So I respec here, and I have attribute points from my armor, my jewelry, and stuff like that that I cannot change. But I can simply take 1 attribute point here, and I can commit that 1 attribute point, and it will increase a tiny bit my weapon's damage because I'm using a sword. And we can see here that there is a sword here, so it shows that my sword sword damage scales with strength. So if I were to then add this button here adds 10, this big one adds 1. So if I were to add 10, you can see that the value on the right hand side for the damage that my sword can do is going up. So this is my base damage. This is the damage that it will have if I commit these points in that slot. So if I were to commit all of my points, then I could make my sword do 700 base damage. But I can commit, like I said, I can commit 1 point and it will increase my damage a small amount, but it won't, I'll need 50 of them to get to this orb. So what are these orbs here that were confusing everybody that thought that they needed to get 50 points before they could, use them in a certain skill or before they had value? Well, if we look here at each of the orbs, we hover over them, they all give you certain bonuses. So that kind of decides what you're going to do. So for me, I am a tank. So I spec mostly into Constitution to get these increases here. Increase your maximum health by 10% of your physical armor. Take less damage from critical hits, and you get a 20% increase to armor. This one here, an 80% reduction when you're at full health, which is crazy. That means the first hit is going to do a whole lot less. And things like that. You can go through and look at all of the orbs for your specific build that you want to go to, the weapons and style of fighting that you're doing. But that's how these orbs work. You will need 50 attribute points to get to those orbs and unlock them. So the 30 that I have here in dexterity, realistically, I would try to, use different items and things like that to make it so that these values are as low as possible, because these are essentially wasted for my build. Now, if we're trying to figure out which weapons, which stats we should level up for each weapon, if we go through here, each weapon has 2 options. So if we hover over this question mark here, we can see that this is the secondary attribute for the spear. So we see the spear icon here, but we also see it here in dexterity. So you can use the primary or the secondary attribute for each weapon. So for example, our base damage, if we go here, our base damage is 468. This is the secondary attribute for the sword, is this one here, dexterity. But if I increase dexterity, then it will increase the damage that I do with dexterity by a small amount. If I do the same with strength, it will increase it by a small amount. Now, if we saw there, if I put 2 points into strength, I get 472. And if I put 2 points into dexterity, I get 471. So if you put your points into the primary slot, it is more useful for you in the long run because you get slightly more. But if you also have points in the secondary slot, it also does increase that weapon, or whatever specific weapon you're trying to use, it will increase that as well. So the main takeaway that you're going to do here is look for the particular type of weapon that you want to use and try to upgrade the primary attribute for that weapon. If you do end up needing to level up, like let's say I wanted to use a musket and a sword, then it would be more efficient for me to simply level up dexterity, because that's the main stat for the musket and the secondary stat for the sword. Now, if I look here, the musket's not on here, so I would need to level up 2 stats to get, increased damage for my sword and for my musket. So you can use these and these little tool tips here to show the secondaries to efficiently level up your weapons, or if you wanted to do musket and ice gauntlet, or musket and rapier, or musket and fire staff, then it would be better for you to do intelligence over dexterity. And remember, you can commit simply 1 point at a time. It doesn't matter how many points you commit, but you will receive bonuses every time you unlock one of these orbs. And to look at the right hand side here to see which of these increases, so if you're doing primary or secondary, will give you the best bonuses here for the 2 weapons that you are using. So I hope this video helped. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
Now it's 2020, clear as tile, Lexus clear as day. No longer move around in fear, disarray. Pray you hear me like the winter wind against your window pane. Feel the bass, baby, soak it in and let it marinate. It's time to hustle, gotta muscle up and run through big.